All right, let's talk about something big happening in the Philippine stock market. I mean, a really big change. One that could totally flip the script on how you invest and, honestly, finally open the doors for pretty much everyone, no matter how small you want to start. I want you to just think about this for a second. What if you could buy just one share of any stock? Seriously, instead of needing thousands of pesos, you could just pick a company you believe in and buy a single share. That simple idea, well, it's at the heart of this whole massive shift we're talking about. So, for the longest time, the biggest thing stopping new investors wasn't that they weren't interested. Not at all. It was the crazy high cost just to get started. It's a story we've all heard, right? You want to invest, but the price just to get in the game feels way too high. And man, is that frustrating. You see a company you like, you do the research, but you're just stuck on the sidelines. Why? Because the amount of cash you need up front is just, it's too much, especially for a beginner who just wants to, dip their toes in the water. Okay, let's make this super real. Let's take a look at a popular stock, something like AREI. Right now, it's trading at around 44 pesos a share. That sounds amazing, right? Super affordable. I mean, that's less than a fancy cup of coffee. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? Here's the catch. You'd think, great, I'll buy one share for 44 pesos. But nope. There's this old rule that's been standing in the way, making that super simple idea basically impossible. And this hidden rule has a name. It's called the board lot system. Now, I know that sounds kind of technical and boring, but trust me, it's the #1 reason why that 44 peso share doesn't actually cost you 44 pesos. So what the heck is a board lot? It's actually pretty simple. It's just the minimum number of shares you have to buy in one go. The perfect analogy is this. It's like you want to buy just one egg, but the supermarket will only sell them to you by the dozen. Same idea. Okay, let's do the math and you'll see how crazy this is. For that 44 peso R8 stock, the board lot is 100 shares. So, your minimum investment suddenly rockets from 44 pesos all the way up to 4,400 pesos. And that's before fees. That's a massive difference, right? But, and this is where it gets really exciting, the Philippine Stock Exchange, the PSE, has officially put a proposal on the table to get rid of this whole system, to just completely scrap it. And look, this isn't just some rumor. What you're seeing on your screen right now, that's the actual memorandum from the PSE. This is their official plan. They are dead serious about changing these rules for good. And right there, in their own words, the goal is, and I'm quoting here, making stock market investing more affordable and accessible to retail investors. You know who a retail investor is? It's you. It's me. They're talking directly to the everyday person who just wants a chance to get in the game. All right, so let's put it side by side. What's the old way look like versus the new proposal? You're about to see the differences, well, it's night and day. So here's the old way, the system we have now. Just look at this table. The minimum number of shares you have to buy, the lot size, it changes all over the place depending on the stock's price. For some really cheap stocks, you have to buy 1 million shares. For expensive ones, it might be just 5. It's just messy and way too complicated. Okay, now check this out. This is the new proposal. See that lot size column? It's just one, all the way down. It doesn't matter what the price is. One share is one lot. It is so clean, so simple, and honestly, so powerful. So let's go back to our R8 example to see what this really means. Your minimum investment would plummet from over 4,000 pesos down to just 44 pesos, plus fees. That barrier to entry, it doesn't just get lower, it pretty much vanishes. You know, there's another little bonus tucked into this proposal. It's a bit of a technical thing, but it's cool. Right now, if you try to make a trade right at the end of the day, sometimes it just gets rejected. The new system fixes that little glitch, so more of those last-minute trades will actually go through. It's just a nice little upgrade for everyone. Okay, so let's cut to the chase. What does all of this really mean for you? Let's break down the practical, real-world benefits if you're thinking about starting to invest. Here's the new reality. You could start investing with what's basically pocket change. You can learn how everything works without risking a ton of money. You can build up a portfolio of different companies, literally one share at a time. This change, it would make the stock market genuinely accessible to so many more Filipinos. It's a huge deal. Okay, one really important heads up here. Even though the PSE is changing the rule to one share, Your broker, the company you use to trade, they can still set their own minimums. So you'll definitely want to check with your broker to see what their rules are before you jump in. Look, what we're talking about here is a true game changer. It's about putting the power to invest right into your hands. So I'll leave you with this question. Once this barrier is gone for good, what's going to be your first move? What company's story are you going to become a part of, one single share at a time?